gosh! The room looks dreadful. If there hasn't been a break-in, I'll eat my hat. Careful that you don't cut your nose on that broken glass, Timmy. Take a look at this, Timmy. The intruder was caught on the broken glass. A jolly good model ship.
Well, did you come up with anything?
No, nothing at all.
And I haven't got anything either.
Well, I didn't find anything that might help us either.
That means that the intruder got here before us. Pottersham, probably.
So you think that Pottersham already has the drawing?
I don't really think so, because then he would already be gone. Besides, he wanted something from the study this morning, and as I recall, he mentioned something about a drawing or blueprint.
That means we've got to keep searching.
But there's no place left to look. We've already searched everywhere.
Somehow, we need to figure out what Uncle Quentin meant by his reference to the fish.
His study is filled with books. Perhaps the drawing is in a book about fish.
Yes, that's possible, but we might have to spend an awfully long time looking for it.
Perhaps there's someone we could ask. How about Alf? He's the expert on fish.
Open, closed, open. But it's not getting us anywhere. A secret safe. A clever chap, my father. But did the intruder find it too? An envelope. Drat, it's empty. Well, Timmy, we're probably too late. It opens and closes. Great fun.
Be careful with that fish. It's the first fish my father caught. He was only 12 years old at the time.
How do you know that?
He told me this story recently. He's becoming quite sentimental, actually. He loves going through his old logbook again. It brings back all his old memories. Now that is a truly special fish. Caught it myself.
And what's so special about that?
Well, I couldn't figure out what kind of fish it was, so I took it to my father. He leafed through a huge book all about ocean fish and came up with something that really surprised us. It's really quite funny that you want to know something about this particular fish. Because it's from the South Sea Islands.
What is it doing hanging here then?
My grandfather caught it near Australia. He sailed every sea in the world in his day. I say, take a closer look at this fish. Don't you think there's something peculiar about it?
Not really. What do you mean?
It's still in one piece, even though it's meant to have been in the stomach of a whale.
Who told you that story?
Your father, of course. As a young man, he once shipped out on a whaler. And whenever he talks about it, he says that he felt exactly like Captain Ahab in Moby Dick. That's his favourite book, by the way.
Ready? Let's go to work then.
You're taller than I am, Julian. You've got to hand the books down to me.
All right. Where do you think we should start?
I'll bet there's something in his old logbook.
Here's the book, but there are no papers in it.
There must be a book about saltwater fish somewhere in here.
Right, but there's nothing in it.
Perhaps there's a book about Australia.
Yes, here's one. But there's no slip of paper in it.
Let me look at that copy of Moby Dick. I'm sure it must be the right book. Look here, there's an envelope, and it's got a bit of the plan.
Great, we found what we were looking for then.
And here's another slip of paper. Father drew something on it. It looks rather like a butterfly.
Perhaps that's a clue to find the next section of the plan.
This is great! Julian was right. Here's part 2. And on the note is... I think it's a ship. You were right. I found part 2 and another slip of paper.
What's on it?
It looks like a ship. A jolly good model ship. Oh, there is a secret drawer. Hurrah! It's part 3. We're doing quite well. And here's another slip of paper.
Let me see it. Can you recognise what that is?
I imagine that's supposed to be the rug in this room, because that's where I found the envelope with the number 4 on it.
Yes, of course. But the envelope was empty. That means that Pottersham has only one part of the plans.
We really ought to tell Dick and Anne what we found as soon as possible.
Hello, where have you been then?
We're carrying out the most difficult sort of detective work, dear cousin, and that requires a bit of time.
And have you master detectives discovered anything?
We'll tell you about it on the way. We've got to get back to Dick.